Hey everyone, hope you're having an amazing day. It's RsSavage, and today we'll be looking at a money-making battle, fishing versus divination. This is very exciting. We're going to see which AFK skill will make us the most money. So make sure you guys sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. To start things off, I'm at the Deep Sea Fishing Hub, ready to show you guys the AFK fishing money-making method for this video. And if you guys have seen my previous videos, you will know the method I'm going to be doing. However, it's going to be a little bit different. I'll be using a few different methods and strategies to get more XP as well as GP per hour. Now you guys can see over here on the left, I'm going to be tracking my XP, and I also cleared out my bank so I can track how much fish I'm actually catching. And after 20 minutes of fishing, I'm going to stop the timer and multiply the value of our fish and the XP by 3 to get our GP per hour as well as our XP per hour for this fishing challenge. And another thing I'd like to mention is I'm using Signs of the Porters right here because it seems like it's going to be the same value if we are just fishing over here instead of running over to the deposit net. And I will be just subtracting the price that it costs for these Signs of the Porters, so I'll do the calculations on screen after we're done with the testing. And then next over here I have a setup I'll be talking about right now. So for the aura, I will be using the Master Call of the Sea aura, and this isn't the total best setup, but I will be using my personal best setup to show you guys how much I will be making, and you can use this as a reference for yours. You might be making a little bit less if you're using a little bit of a worse aura. If you're using a little bit of a worse gear setup, you can just kind of see it like that. But here we go. We have this aura that will increase our chance of catching fish by 7%, which is pretty nice. Next, we have the Gatherer's Cape, and don't worry guys if you don't have this. All you need is the 99 Fishing Cape, which will provide a chance to gain an additional catch, and it doesn't say exactly the chance that you're getting, but it will help you guys make some more money, so that's always nice to have. And next, we obviously have the Grace the Elves to hold our Signs of the Porters, so that is great to have. And I will not be calculating the Siren Spirits, the value of those. That actually would be a decent amount of money, but we're not going to be calculating it because it'd be a little bit too hard to keep track of all of that. And next we have the Luck of the Dwarves. I always just keep this on while I'm doing skilling stuff. It'll just help with luck and whatnot, so why not? Then we have a quiver. We don't have to worry about that. And then we have the Fishing Rod O-Matic. So let's get into the perks really quickly. I have some perks. They're not totally the best because these perks do cost some money, so keep that in mind if you're trying to get them. Some of them will take some time to get. Some of them you need a high invention level to get, and I got these a while ago, so I don't remember exactly, but I'm going to go into what these are exactly. So Fortune, and since I have Fortune 3, I get a 1.5% chance to double and bank the fish that I'm catching, which isn't too bad at all. It'll help a little bit. And then next we got Efficient 4. This will give us a 24% chance to reduce charge drain rate, which is nice. It'll save us some money so we don't have to buy as many charges to use on the Fishing Rod O-Matic. And then lastly, we have Honed 5, which will provide a 10% chance increase to fishing success, which is also nice. Increase our GP per hour as well as our XP per hour. And another thing I'd like to mention is I do have it level 20, and you can see this icon right here. It has a 10% increased chance to activate these two perks right here, and it doesn't do it for the efficient, which is fine because this will just help save the charges, which is nice. But it'll help with these and help us catch more fish, which is just ultimately going to be better. And if you guys don't know how to get the Fishing Rod O-Matic, it's just an invention kind of tool that you can make from those stands. And the materials shouldn't be too expensive whatsoever to get. But if you guys don't have the Fishing Rod O-Matic, that is totally fine. You will just not be making as much XP or GP, so just keep that in mind. If these perks are too complicated and confusing, or if you guys just don't have the money or invention level to get them, it's totally fine. I'm just providing you guys some knowledge on how to make the absolute most money from this fishing method. So we're gonna now move on over to our next few items. We got the Augmented Enhanced Excalibur. This is just for a mobile, since when you spawn in, you're over here. I use the Grace the Elves to teleport to the Deep Sea Fishing Hub, but you can go to Ardoin and go up to the Fishing Guild and travel to this place from the master over there. And once you spawn in, you can just use bladed dive in your mobile switch to get here just a little bit faster. But if you do have the signs of the porters, you don't have to worry about that too much. It's just when you're starting the money making method. And next we have the Brooch of the Gods. This will spawn in some blessings that it will give you invention materials. Once again, I'm not going to be calculating the value of those in this, but I would say that you can probably calculate that and it'll just benefit you in many ways, because you can use invention materials to make stuff that you can then sell, but we will not be calculating that. And lastly, we have the Fury Shark outfit, and when you have all 5 pieces, it grants a 7% boost to catching fish and also a 10% boost to catching additional fish. And this thing must be very good. It's going to help us gain some additional XP and GP like all of our other equipment supplies, and it's just gonna be awesome. I'm actually curious to see the difference of having this outfit and not having it, because I would say it's gonna make a significant impact. And if we go over here, you do need 80 fishing to get this outfit, and you also need 20 invention. And after you have those requirements, you can actually fish fragments and eventually create the outfit. There's 3 different outfits you have to make, and then you can combine all 3 outfits to make the Fury outfit. And it does take a little bit of time to do, but it is definitely going to be worth it in your money making journey. Just one last thing I'd like to mention is the auras. I do have these 3 auras favorited because these are my best auras for fishing, and this one is the Wisdom aura that'll help with XP. I believe it is a 2.5% XP boost with the one that I have, but it can be upgraded with loyalty points, obviously on the Solomon store, so you guys can check that out. And I also forgot to tell you guys that this Master Call of the Sea aura can be bought from the Solomon store with loyalty points, and loyalty points can be accumulated when you guys purchase your membership every month. So that is how you get those. And then we have the Dwarven Instinct aura. It will actually spawn in a chest and get you guys some extra items, and sometimes also some cash it will spawn in for you, which is pretty nice. This will increase your GP per hour 100%, and I have made a video actually what the aura does and how to get it, so I'll leave that in the description below if you guys want to check that out and learn more about this aura. You can actually get it with, I think, a bond as well, if you guys didn't know that. Now, I hope all of that explanation was helpful for you guys. As you can see, I'm coming close to the end of my 120 fishing journey, and that is pretty much all the stuff I've learned with the equipment and what is the best to use. So I hope this helps you guys out. And now we're going to be getting into the challenge and see how much XP and GP we can make in an hour. Alright guys, the 20 minutes is up, and you can see with the signs of the porters that we were able to catch 75 fish in the 20 minutes. So if we multiply that by 3, we have caught 225 fish in an hour. But we have to keep in mind that these are a variety, whether it's going to be the sailfish, the blue blubberfish, the sharks, or the manta ray, or even the cavefish. I believe those are all of the types. I'll get them out of my bank shortly, and we're going to check the price on that. But we can see also up here we have 29,535 XP in the 20 minutes. If we multiply that by 3, we get 88,605 XP in 1 hour. But once again, these numbers are definitely going to change every time you do it. It is definitely RNG based, and it's not going to be the same. There's like a certain window, I would say, of what you can expect to get. So I would say like 80,000 to maybe even 100,000. It could be a pretty big gap such as that, depending on the other stuff you get, because they do also give you some stuff while fishing that will increase your fishing catch rate, which you can apply. Or there's even some buffs that go on once it kind of turns a nighttime over here. You can see some buffs on your bar that will increase your fishing chances and stuff like that. So you can kind of expect somewhere around the numbers I just said. But now we're going to go check out how much money the fish cost. So let's go to the bank and check that out. And this is what the bank looks like. It looks like we got sailfish, blue blubberfish, rocktail. We didn't get any sharks or manta rays, but we did get 3 cavefish. But I gotta say, it's very nice to see the sailfish and blue blubbers, because those will be the most expensive. We're just gonna throw them in the price checker, and then we're going to be multiplying this value by 3. So 20 minutes, we were able to get 419,547. And you know what, we can just do this on the calculator real fast, and I'll throw it up on screen. the number that we get. So we're going to put that in, multiply it by 3, and we get 1,258,641 is how much we were able to get in 1 hour. But now we get to subtract the cost of the sign of porters. So the ones that I were using, I will take out of the bank. I will show you guys actually how this works. So I use incandescent energy and dragonstone necklaces to make the signs of the porters, 7 I believe that is. So we're going to calculate the cost it takes to make 2 of those, because one of these signs of the porters will actually charge this up by 50. So technically we did use 2 of them. We can say 2 of them, and then that means we'd be using 6 of them in the hour. So you guys can see right here, one of the signs of the porter 7s is gonna be 120 incandescent energy in 1 dragonstone necklace. So let's check the price on how much it's gonna cost to make 1, and then multiply it by 6 to see how much it's gonna cost to supply ourselves with signs of the porters for 1 hour. So let's throw this in here and get our calculator out. We can use this over here. So we have 29,560, and let's multiply this by 6. And that gives us a value of 177,360, which we can then subtract from our GP from our fish. So that's 177,360, giving us a total of 1,081,281 GP per hour from doing this method. Now, something for you guys to check out is I'm not sure if the other signs are cheaper or more expensive. You're just going to have to experiment with this yourself. Since I have 99 divination, I'm using the best signs of the porters that are in the game, which are these ones. But obviously, if you have a lower level, you could probably get away with doing other ones, but it might just cost a little bit more and you might lose some money per hour. So just keep that in mind. And another thing to keep in mind is that this value, this 1,081,281 GP per hour, is probably gonna change like 100,000 give or take depending on your RNG, because you could be catching more of the expensive fish some hours and you could be catching more of the cheaper fish some other hours, and sometimes you might be logging out obviously and it might take you longer to log in. So you just have to take that all into consideration while you're using this method. And then also you do have these auras. Sometimes they'll be on cooldown. Sometimes you'll be using ones giving more XP. Sometimes you'll be using ones that give more GP. So it's definitely hard to calculate this exact, and it's not going to be the same for every hour that you're doing this method. You guys might be saying, I totally forgot about the fishing rod-o-matic divine charge costs, but personally, I don't think that's a big deal because the charges are so cheap right now. It shouldn't make a huge impact on your profits whatsoever. And as well, I have efficient 4, which is helping reduce the drain rate. So I don't believe this is too big of a deal. And if you do want to subtract a couple thousand from the value, you can, but I just don't think it'll be that big of a difference. Now that pretty much wraps it up for the fishing money making method, and now I'm very excited to show you guys this divination money making method, which is doing the incandescent energy and converting that into the divine charges. And this is a very popular money making method. I've always heard people doing it. It's very AFK and it's very good to make money, but I've never tried it before, so I'm very excited to see how much XP we're going to be getting an hour, as well as how much GP per hour it is. And I know that the charges have gone down in price, which kind of stinks, but we're going to try it anyways and see if it's still good, and I'll show you guys whether it's worth doing it or not. And I also haven't done divination since that update they did that made the things last longer, which probably makes it even more AFK. So we're going to test it out and see how it goes. So stay tuned, and I hope you guys are enjoying the video so far. This video did take some time to make, so it would mean a lot to me if you guys hit that like button on the video and subscribe. But let's get over to the divination money making method. Here we are at the incandescent energy right here, and the way I got over here was using my Elder Divination outfit. I right clicked it, it went to colony teleport, and the incandescent teleport thing was right here. But if you guys don't have the outfit, you can head over to Castle Wars, I think using the Ring of Dueling, and then you can just travel down here and cross this bridge, and you should find yourself at the incandescent energy. Before I get into the test, I want to show you guys what my inventory and equipment setup looks like, and I also have something very important to share with you guys about the requirements for this moneymaker, as well as the fishing one that I have previously shown. So I forgot to mention that you need 68 fishing to access the deep sea fishing hub, and I should have mentioned that earlier, but just keep that in mind. It's definitely not too bad, not a high requirement considering fishing is pretty AFK and easy to level up. And then once you get to there, you can be making some great money. But now we're doing the divination moneymaker with the incandescent energy, and you will need 95 divination for this moneymaker. It is a pretty high requirement, and divination does take a lot of time to do. So this might be on the higher end. For you guys who are lower levels, you might not be able to do this yet. And if you guys see this and you enjoy it, then you can level up your divination, which would be pretty cool. And then I also have this vacuum as like a tool. It's like the fishing rod-o-matic, but this is for divination. And you need 101 invention to make this, as well as a bunch of components. And I'm not sure exactly the price of it, but you can probably figure that out on your own. And then after I made this, I just put in the divine charges. And I think you can do this method with 95 divination. You just have the empty divine charges in your inventory, and I think they should fill up. But since I have the vacuum, it makes it easier. It'll just store them for me, which is pretty sweet. So let's get also into my other stuff. So we have the divination cape, and it looks like it increases duration of divination springs by 30 seconds. And I believe these are springs, right? Or they're whiffs. I'm not sure if that will help us with this, but we might as well just throw it on. Because it's obviously the 99 divination cape. You always got to have that on while you're doing divination. Next, we have the Grace of the Elves. I don't think this is going to help at all. Besides the Siren Spirits, if they do pop up, that'll give us some extra money. But once again, I will not be calculating that. And then I always have the Luck of the Dwarfs when I'm skilling. Don't worry about the Quiver. Then we have the Brooch of the Gods. Same as earlier, the Blessings will pop up and give us some invention materials, but they will not be calculated in the GP per hour for this method. And then this looks like it's going to be the most important. So it's the Elder Divination Head. Similar to the Fury Shark outfit, you're going to have to get 3 outfits prior to this one, and then you combine them together to make the ultimate outfit. And this is considered the Elder Divination outfit over here. So you will need 80 divination to start to be able to collect the fragments, as well as 20 invention. And then once you collect the fragments, you can actually check that you have the fragments over here, I believe. Maybe I can show you guys right here. One of these would be the divination one. I'm not sure exactly which one, but it would be in here. It's obviously this one, actually, the divination. And I have 0 since I already have the outfit. And then the fishing one would be the shark fragments right there. And I think it's 3,600 fragments to make one of the outfit pieces. And you need a bunch of the outfit pieces. You need 5 outfit pieces. And then you need 3 of the different outfits. So you can do the math on that and see how much fragments you need. So it doesn't take too long, and it's definitely worth taking the time to go and just make the outfit after you're already collecting the fragments, working towards at 99. So that's pretty sweet. And that seems like it is all for the inventory setup. And I also just have some of these urns to help with XP. You don't have to worry too much about that, but it will affect this XP per hour that I'll be calculating that. And the reason I have those is just because it's in the Brooch of the Gods. It stores them for me, and I made a bunch when I was going from 99, and I have some left over. So we'll just include those in the calculation. But for the fishing one, I didn't use urns. So if you want to add those into that calculation, you can. But personally, I don't, because the urns do cost money, and I don't necessarily need that extra XP. But now let me get into the test and share with you guys the XP and the GP per hour you will be getting here. I just started my 20-minute timer, and you can see I already have a blessing pop up. We're going to get some invention materials right there, 4 precious components, and I also popped my Dwarven Instinct aura right here, which will last an hour, and a magical chest spawns right here. So we can open that up and get an additional 84k right here in the bottom. You can see that. That is pretty sweet. So I believe we get a chest like every 10 minutes, so maybe we'll be getting like 5 or 6 chests. And they have a chance of giving us around 80k, which is pretty nice, and it can increase our GP per hour, but I will not be including that. It's just something else to help you guys get some more money. And you can see we're filling these things up pretty nice. We're almost done with our first one, and we're getting into the timer, but let me get back to you guys when I'm finished. Alright guys, I'm halfway through the testing and I'm kind of enjoying this so far. It's pretty AFK and it's pretty enjoyable to do something new. I have been fishing a lot at that deep sea fishing hub, working my way towards 120 fishing, so it's definitely fun to change things up. Even if one of these turns out to have a little bit more GP per hour or a little bit more XP than the other, I still think it's fun to change things up once in a while and have a little new scenery. It's nice to get away from the water. I've been on those docks for many months grinding out this 120 fishing. So just the scenery is kind of pretty cool, and the animation kind of vacuuming in the wisp. I absolutely love it. And we're getting our way closer to the end of this test. I have gotten another chest that gave me another 84k, which is pretty sweet. We already got like 170k just from this aura, which is awesome. So you guys should definitely go check out that video I made in the past showing how to get the aura, because it is probably going to benefit you guys a little bit. All right, the 20-minute test is now finished, and let me hover over the vacuum to show you guys that I was able to get 19 divine charges stored, as well as a 55% into the next one. So now I'm going to break down how I was able to calculate the GP per hour, and then we'll get into the XP after that. So what I did was I found out the price of the empty charges, which was 20,949, and then I counted 20 of them because we did get 50% into this one, and if you multiply it by 3, we'll be ending up with an additional one in the long run. So I just rounded this to 20, and actually it should almost be a little bit more than that, but we can just say 20 for now. So 20 multiplied by 20,949 gives us 418,980, and then I went over and sold one of the full ones, and it was a 45,001, and then I multiplied that value by 20 and got 900,020. And what we can do there is subtract the full by the empty to get our profit from that in the 20 minutes. So I did that, and I got 481,040, and that's how much profit we were able to get in 20 minutes. So we want to multiply that by 3, ending us with 1,443,120 GP per hour is what we were able to get with this method. And that's pretty cool and interesting to see, considering it is a higher level requirement for this moneymaker. So it does make sense that it's worth more money. But another thing to point out is that fishing method seems to have gone down a little bit in GP per hour, considering that fish prices must have went down. But it's always going to change, I would say. It's depending on the time that you do this. Sometimes the divine charges might be worth more. I know that when this method was a lot more popular, divine charges were 100k, and now they're only selling for 45k when they're full, which is a tremendous difference, I would say. Definitely the money per hour went down with this divination method. You guys can see over here, I was able to get 11,392 XP in the 20 minutes. So let's multiply that by 3, and we get 34,176 XP per hour with this incandescent energy money making method with the divine charges. And that's tremendously less than the fishing one, where we were getting around 88,000 XP per hour. So that's also something to keep in mind. Whether you want to be getting XP and getting your total XP up a lot, or if you're just focusing on money, then the divination one would definitely be better. And also, depending if you're just working for a 99, it's obviously going to take longer if you're doing this money making method to get yourself 99 divination. But it's still pretty interesting to see that you're making this much money and still getting a decent amount of XP. And obviously, after a while, that 34,000 is going to add up after many hours, and you'll eventually get yourself a higher divination level, which is pretty cool. I would say that the fishing one is pretty nice, but you do have your fishing net get caught randomly, and it's kind of hard to predict it. So that's kind of a downside of that. You can't predict when it's going to happen. But the divination one you can predict, obviously, because you can see the bar of the wisp. You can see when it's going to deplete, and then you get to move on to the next one. So honestly, the divination one is pretty nice. I'd say if you have the divination level, which is 95, and you have 101 invention, then you should probably head over to this divination money making method and do that. But you can only hold 100 divination empty charges, which means you'd have to bank probably, you can get like an hour and a half before you'd have to bank, considering we would be able to do 60 of these in an hour. And that's not too bad, because also with the fishing, you have to get some more signs of the porters. which is pretty interesting. Maybe you could hold more divine charges though in your inventory, and then you could empty these out and put them in. I'm pretty sure that would work. It sounds like it would, but I haven't tried it yet. I would have to check that out. But after doing this video, I'm actually very happy I did, because it seems like this divination one is the better money making method. And once I'm done with 120 fishing, it looks like I'll be heading over to do some of this divination. And compared to the archaeology money making method, this still probably doesn't beat that method. But once again, those supplies change values so much and so often. It's just very hard to know. You kind of gotta do your own tests on this depending on the time that you watch this video. If you're watching it currently, then I would say this video is probably helpful for you. But if you're watching it, let's say a month from now, it is 100% going to be different, I would say. But it's still going to be kind of similar. I would say that the divination one might still be better than the fishing one, but you definitely got to test it out. And compared to the archaeology one, I would say that the archaeology one is definitely less AFK, and you have to worry about those people in the worlds. Also, for this divination one, you have to worry about people using your own wisps, because they will deplete when other people use them. But I'm also familiar with some worlds that have these wisps that are a little bit larger. There's some worlds where group divination goes on. I haven't tried that out. If you guys are more experienced with that, you can do that. But I definitely got to check that out after I finish my 120 fishing grind and get some more information on this to share it with you guys. So maybe I'll make another video on this in the future, and maybe the prices will change, and I can prove to you guys that the prices definitely don't stay the same. Well, that's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you did enjoy and learn something new. And this video definitely took a while to make, and it's going to take a while to edit, I can already tell. So it would mean a lot to me if you guys hit that like button as well as hit that subscribe button. And I'd like to thank you guys so much. We hit 600 subscribers. That is huge and means so much to me. Thank you guys so much who have already subscribed and are tuning in, and hit those notification bells so you can get notified when I upload my next video. But that's going to be it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.